The Chronos Cipher. The rain had finally ceased, leaving the cobbled streets of Oldport slick and gleaming under the weak morning light. Detective Inspector Elias Thorne surveyed the scene. A small, unassuming clockmaker's shop, timeless gears, its windows still adorned with dusty antique timepieces. But inside, time had run out for its owner. The victim was Arthur Pendelton, a reclusive genius known for his intricate, often bizarre, clockwork creations. He was found slumped over his workbench, a single, precise stab wound in his back. No forced entry, no struggle, and the shop's bell, designed to chime whenever the door opened, was silent. "Looks like a ghost did it, Inspector," muttered Sergeant Miller, shining his flashlight around the cramped, ticking space. "Or a very quiet assassin." Thorne, a man whose mind moved like a well-oiled mechanism, ignored him. He was drawn to the workbench. Pendleton's last project lay unfinished, a small, intricate wooden box, barely the size of a teacup. Its surface was covered in a dizzying array of tiny gears and numbers, but it lacked a lid. "What's this contraption?" Miller asked, poking at it. "A puzzle box, perhaps," Thorne mused. "Or a very complex alarm." He noticed something else. Clutched in Pendleton's dead hand was a single, meticulously crafted wooden gear, unlike any other on the box. It was carved with a unique symbol, an hourglass with a single, upward-pointing arrow through its center. Hours turned into the tedious rhythm of police work, interviews, fingerprint dusting, searching for the proverbial needle in a haystack. The only other person with a key was Pendleton's apprentice, a young woman named Clara Vane, who claimed to have been home sick. Her alibi was weak, but so was any motive. Thorne returned to the shop alone that evening. The silence, broken only by the endless ticking of dozens of clocks, was oppressive. He stared at the puzzle box, the missing lid, the unique gear in Pendleton's hand. He remembered overhearing Miller tell the coroner that the time of death was roughly 2 a.m., and then it clicked. Thorne picked up the unique gear. He turned the puzzle box over in his hands. It felt unnervingly light. He examined the lid, sitting discarded on a nearby shelf. It was simply a wooden panel. He looked again at the intricate gearwork on the box's surface. A faint, almost invisible seam ran around the base of the box. He took a small screwdriver from Pendleton's toolbox and carefully pried open the base. Inside, instead of clockwork, was a hollow compartment, and in it, a small, rolled-up piece of parchment. He unrolled it. It was a single, hand-drawn map of Oldport. On it, dozens of locations were marked with tiny, precise X's, and at the bottom, a cryptic message. "The time is now. The future is yours. The legacy awaits." The map made no sense. What did Pendleton, a clockmaker, have to do with this? Thorne looked at the puzzle box again. The gears, they weren't functional. They were decorative. And the unique gear? It fit perfectly into a small, empty slot on the side of the box, a slot he hadn't noticed before. He inserted the gear. With a soft click, a tiny, almost invisible mechanism whirred inside the box. A small, almost imperceptible sliver of wood slid away from the base, revealing a perfectly hidden button. He pressed it. Nothing happened. Or so he thought. Suddenly, a faint, almost subliminal hum resonated through the room. It was coming from the countless clocks. Their ticking, previously synchronized, now seemed subtly off-kilter, creating a barely audible, unsettling drone. Thorne looked around, unnerved. He then glanced at the map, and his eyes fell on one of the X's. It was Pendelton's old, abandoned workshop on the edge of the docks. He rushed there, the hum from the clocks now a phantom echo in his ears. The workshop was dark and silent. He found a hidden safe in the wall. The safe had a complex clockwork lock, a lock that required a specific, unique gear to operate. The gear in Pendelton's hand. He inserted the gear. The tumblers clicked. The safe opened. Inside, there was no treasure, only a single, large, ornate clock. Not a timepiece, but a countdown mechanism. It read 00:00:00:00:01. 1 second. Just as Thorne stared, the counter hit 00:00:00:00:00. And then, every clock in Oldport, every antique, every wristwatch, every tower bell began to chime simultaneously, a deafening, chaotic symphony of time. It wasn't just a bell, it was a signal. Thorne looked at the now empty safe, then at the clock. The murder wasn't about theft, it was about timing. Pendelton was killed the moment before this global chime. Someone wanted him silenced before he could trigger it, or prevent it. He returned to the clock shop. Miller met him at the door. "Inspector, you won't believe this. Clara Vane just called. She said she's at Pendelton's old workshop. She just found a note telling her to activate a clock in a hidden safe. She said she needs the unique gear Pendelton always carried." Thorne held up the gear. "She won't be needing this. I just found it. And I just activated something." Miller looked confused. "Activated what?" Thorne looked at the map again, then at the single X marking the clock shop. "Pendleton designed a perfect alibi, Miller. A locked room, a silent murder. He needed to be dead before this specific time so no one would suspect him." "Suspect him of what?" "Of knowing too much," Thorne whispered, staring at the map. "This map isn't a treasure hunt. It's a list. Pendleton was supposed to be the first one silenced, but he hid the trigger to this global chime. This wasn't a murder. This was a precaution." The case was never officially solved. The global chime was explained away as a mass electrical surge. Clara Vane disappeared. But Thorne knew. He knew that the clocks of Oldport didn't just chime that day. They sang a warning. And somewhere, someone was listening.